is we had shirtless Rex on the farm.
So are we gonna get shirtless Cobb?
Just showing up just like Cad Bane did.
Kill him. Listen.
Dude, my lanky boy, I wouldn't mind seeing those ribs. Come on in, dude.
You want to see scrawny Cobb Vanth?
I want to see scrawny Cobb Vanth crawl out of the sand with.
Incoming transmission from an unknown source. It seems to be urgent. Patching them through. They're calling themselves the HoloNet Marauders.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. We didn't even get to the spoiler warning, and I held up spoilers.
You just held up
Nobody saw them. That was
spoilers.
quick.
Nobody saw them.
Nobody saw anything.
Episode 56, I think. Right, Jamie?
Yes, 56, yep.
And
Of the Book of Boba Fett.
how are you guys doing? My Bombad Marauder Jedis. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Bombad Marauder Jedi. It's been a long week. A lot has happened.
Man.
It's good.
Yeah.
A favorite character got shot. We'll get to that.
Gosh, we'll get to that.
We also wanted to mention it is Star Wars Podcast Day, the 23rd anniversary of February 7th, 1999. Speaking of 1999, Naboo Starfighter. Relevant.
Speaking of 1999.
So, very cool. Star Wars podcasting. I don't know how they did it back in 1999. Maybe it was on a cassette tape or something like that. But anyways, I want to introduce our guests here, our good friends, Riley and Dodge. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are
Hello.
Doing
Welcome
pretty well.
to you
Doing pretty
both.
well.
Both of them from the Ladylorians podcast. You got to throw that out there as well. So, well, kind of. Not you.
I'm in the
As an
wind.
understudy.
I'm in the wind.
Understudy. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Affiliated.
Ladylorian and understudy, the infamous understudies. So.
Yeah, very infamous.
How you guys
Nice.
doing? Doing
Pretty
well?
good. Pretty good. I'm excited.
Been
Yeah.
enjoying
I'm
Book
pumped.
of Boba Fett?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been loving
Yeah.
it so much.
I know, it's really been fantastic. And it's been all over the place, which we'll get to. But Jamie, do you want to bring up the wheel? Questions?
We're bringing up the wheel, and hopefully it doesn't take forever this time, but it's going to give us a random thing,
Yeah, last time
and it's going to be a question.
Krrsantan himself spun this thing, and it took 20 years
And it happened again.
to go around.
He did it again.
It's a stall.
It's
Is there a
very
setting or
long
something?
spin.
Probably.
Yes, I didn't click it.
It's just the
I'm
suspense
sorry.
is killing me.
Oh my
What is
god.
that?
It's a little
Say.
laggy. What do we
That's
got?
so small. Okay.
What
That's
city in
unexpected.
real
The
life
most Star
is the most
Wars
Star Wars
looking.
That's a good question.
Oh my goodness.
That's a very good
Oh.
question. I don't remember writing that one at all. So
That makes
That's
it more
hard.
fun.
I can't even.
I've got
It's
one.
really hard.
okay.
Um,
So what city in real life is the most Star Wars looking? That's the question.
we usually start with our guests, so
Yeah, start with our guess.
Oh,
which one of you guys
no.
wants to go first?
Dodge your first.
Dodge, you look ready to go.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Well, I am close to the Smoky Mountains, so I'm thinking Endor vibes. So I'm feeling like, Gatlinburg area in Tennessee, very Endor vibes. So I feel
I
like
like it.
that's
Okay.
the
okay.
closest thing I got to Star Wars in my mind.
I like
love
that.
it.
Okay.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Your turn, Riley.
Yeah.
I think it's Abu Dhabi. It's like
No.
a desert mist. Did I take yours?
You took mine. All right.
I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
It's
Alright.
like desert mixed with like skyscrapers. It's like Tatooine meets Coruscant, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tallest building in the world is there too. So,
Mhm.
and that looks very Coruscant.
Yes.
Although Coruscant is probably way taller buildings than that one.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Those are both good, and I like how they're kind of varying, like city and like nature-y. Matt, what do you got?
Jeez. Okay. All
Sorry.
right. I'm gonna say.
On the spot.
I'm gonna say Monaco,
Oh.
That's good.
which looks exactly like a certain planet that I really enjoy, Canto Bight.
Canto Bight.
Mhm. So true.
Wow,
So
I like that. Jamie, are you ready? Or I've got
I-
one. I technically cheated
go.
and looked something up, but
Oh, I'm looking something
I
up
don't
right
even-
now. So
what the hell is this?
I don't remember the name of it. Okay.
are you thinking
I
of the
know-
one where they shot Naboo?
No.
Oh,
not.
that's
Well, that's
whatever
one.
it's called.
I'll just go Tokyo. I get super
Okay.
Coruscant vibes from Tokyo.
I didn't think about that.
Population density is very Coruscant too.
Seriously, like a lot of the, I don't want to say like the underworld of Coruscant we see, but by the way, did you guys see that leaked footage of that old like 1313 that game?
Star Wars
Yes.
13,
That looked
13.
just like that looked like what I'm trying to like explain with the
With
Tokyo.
the neon lights and
Yeah, exactly. Very cyberpunky.
like in
So-
Attack of the Clones when they're
Cyberpunk.
chasing the changeling
Exactly.
through the
Yeah.
streets.
And
Go
then we
to
see the
Dex's
wharf
Diner. Yeah.
in Clone Wars season 7. So yeah, I'm going Tokyo. I don't know if that was an inspiration for Coruscant, but
So to go off that immediately, Singapore.
okay.
Good one.
Because I mean, like my brain immediately goes to Madripoor from the MCU, and it's throwing
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
That's the entire vibe. It's the whole cyberpunk thing again, and I'm obsessed with that. So
We both chose cyberpunky type things.
yeah,
I tried to find
Yeah.
out where they shot the lake scene from Naboo. I know it's in Italy.
Yeah.
And a lot of Naboo
it's
was
like
in
Como.
Italy.
Oh yeah.
I
But I
forgot
didn't
how
know
to.
the.
I forgot which
I don't
one
know.
it is. There's
I
like
know.
2 that have very similar names. Ugh.
I should have said like Yuma, Arizona, where Tatooine was originally filmed. I
Yeah.
don't
There
know
you
origins,
go.
but I forgot. But
Well, the question was,
hey,
what city?
Smoky Mountains.
But it's
Good enough.
It's good. It's
It
good.
was good. It
I
was
like
good.
I like
You
it. I like
know,
the
There's probably
variety.
Endor's running around.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we
Endor's
did it. I
running
think we did a
around
good job.
in there.
I think we did it.
Okay.
Well,
Moving on.
anyways.
Mandalorian. Oh no, Book of Boba Fett.
I know. I keep calling it the Mandalorian too.
I mean,
Well, first
oh my
off,
god.
well, I want to hear your guys' takes, Riley and Dodge, on before these 2 episodes we're going to talk about. So before Return of the Mandalorian, literally, what was your thought on Book of Boba Fett leading up to that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of people complained about it being slow and all the flashbacks, but I think Dave and John really focused on all the people that would have absolutely complained if we did not get every single step leading up to how he survived and how we saw him in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I thought they did that perfectly. And I loved all the little world building like pieces they even put into that. I thought it was awesome, like with the Tuskens and everything. Perfect.
Yeah, the whole everything with the Tuskens was incredible, and it was slow, but like that was kind of the point. The Tuskens have a slower way of life compared to what we see in the rest of the galaxy, and it certainly feels like a different show than what it is now. But you needed that backstory, and
Who would have thought we'd be here? Huh?
it's crazy that people
At
complained.
the beginning of
would've
the
thought?
season.
They waited 40 years to
Not
see
me.
the Sarlacc, Boba come out of the Sarlacc, and like people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna complain." It's like, what are we
Right.
doing?
Dude,
Yeah.
I waited 50 years to see Luke train Grogu. I didn't think I'd get that in the show. It's like we'll talk about this later because I'm just flabbergasted.
You waited 50 years.
Yeah,
So
dude.
you're the
yeah.
same age as Grogu.
You
Yeah.
personally waited 50
Interesting.
years.
Benjamin
man.
Button over here.
Dodge, what did you think of the show so far?
I love it. It was the first episode. It's kind of rough for me. I fell in love with how the Mandalorian. I found out instantly what the plot was going to be at on the first episode, and so the fact that I didn't know that going into the first episode or coming out of the first episode kind of scared me. But I loved the whole Tusken arcs and just like the growth of Boba, and I was loving it. I was loving it, having a blast, and then Din showed up and made it even better. So.
Yeah. Then it really became Book of the Mandalorian. And
Yeah.
though I know it's like it's
Why
messy,
didn't they call it that? Book of the Mandalorian.
or they could have called it like The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, but that's what I'm getting at. Like
That's too long. That's way
I'm
too
starting
long.
to think of it as like comic books where
The
they all kind
Mandalorian.
of cross into each other.
Boba Fett. Like
that's-
Fallen Order is Jedi Fallen Order. I'm sorry, AJ. I keep cutting you off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where you're going. I know where you're going, but
I don't. I'm glad you do. I don't.
I know where
story-
you were
Go
going
ahead,
with that.
go ahead,
Star Wars
go ahead.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three titles. Yeah, we could have
long
done the
story
same
short, these Favreau Filoni projects are all crossing into one another like a DNA strand, I guess. That's what I'm thinking of in my head.
Wow,
And they're
that
all
was
going to
beautiful.
lead to one thing with Thrawn probably at the end. Who knows? Maybe
life
Kira
finds
will
a
be
way.
involved. I hope.
But yeah,
I don't know.
these last 2 episodes have really shown us that the title of the show doesn't seem to matter much, like at all. Like we're just getting like one story, and it's just going to keep going. And whatever they feel like telling us, they're just going to show us. You know, it doesn't matter if it's in the Book of Boba Fett or the Mandalorian or Ahsoka or Rangers, if they ever get around to it.
I really liked what our friend and author, Star Wars author Landry Q. Walker said last night on our show. With he doesn't feel this way that Boba Fett's being sidelined, because Boba was always a quieter character, obviously in the originals, because he was literally like, I don't want to call him an extra, but he was background. But this is still his show, because his plot is still driving the whole story. Like the reason Mando is involved is because Boba needed him. Maybe Luke and Grogu didn't necessarily need to be involved in his story, but
no, not
nevertheless, that was part of Mando's thing. But Mando's now into this, and I don't know. It's all been so enjoyable. So like, I guess I don't really care. But it's just crazy. We have one episode left, which we'll get to at the end of this. We'll try to predict what'll happen next. But let's talk about the Return of the Mandalorian, episode 5? Chapter 5?
Chapter 5.
Track. I mean, just amazing. You know, one of the first people we thought of was you, Dodge, because you're like,
I love
it. Djarin, I guess. I didn't know how to word that, but you know, when we think of Mando, we think of you now. I mean, it's in your Twitter name, so like, what were your feelings when this epised, when you first saw the episode?
Well, I was just excited to see Din again because I love that man. But I don't know. I was going into it like, obviously I love Din, but I was very worried about the whole Boba arc in it, and I just like wanted to see more Boba, and so I was kind of iffy going into the episode, if that makes sense, in terms of just like how Mando gets involved and how Boba's in it and stuff. And obviously, like, he didn't have anything in the episode, which I was a little disappointed about. But I was too obsessed with Din Djarin that I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine, you know. But I loved it. I love seeing Din, like, the in-between between what his next season's gonna be and how he's still connected to Boba and what he's doing with life and like the Darksaber, all that. I love it. I am loving the character development, and I'm just like, I'm just ready for season 3, and I kind of wish that like I saw more Boba in it, to be honest. But I was obsessed with it. I still think it was like 10 out of 10 episode. I was watching it the whole time. I was just like, so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up the Darksaber, and like the way they implemented the Darksaber I thought was so cool, because right off the bat at the meatpacking plant, which I know Matt wants to get to, his favorite setting.
My favorite part.
It was cool that like I forgot that it was like in Rebels. Is it Sabine mentions that it's heavy, and when she's training with Kanan.
I thought you were talking about the meatpacking plant.
Yeah, I thought you were too.
Meatpacking plant.
No, I was talking
Rebels?
about
What are you talking about?
I was talking about the Darksaber.
I'm sorry, you said Darksaber, meatpacking plant. Matt's talking about it. I forgot it was in Rebels.
Makes
the
sense.
Meatpacking
plant?
Are you guys want to talk about the meatpacking plant? I thought it was great.
No, that's it. I loved the meatpacking plant. I
loved
loved how they all had like beanies or like scally cups on. Like I thought that was hilarious that they made like these like butchers like look like in-universe butchers. And I think it's funny that there's like literally a criticism out there that like, oh, it should look more Star Wars. Like there shouldn't be like plastic sheets on the doors. But like
Matt's the only one.
That's my complaint.
Matt.
Plastic strips on the doors when in a world with like ray shields and like all these fancy like things that you could have done, and they do like the most bare bones like meat packing plant dressing.
Ray shields aren't sanitary.
No, yeah. Well,
I bet they
a plastic
are.
sheet I wouldn't say is really sanitary either.
Probably easier to clean.
The point here, expensive, you know. The point is, it's a mafia lair, and so why would this guy have ray shields? He is doing the bare bones. That's why it's a bare bones meatpacking plant.
I'm sorry, I was expecting Sylvester Stallone to be punching meat in there 24/7 the whole time watching it.
Maybe that's what that guy does in his spare time. I did like how like the mob boss had like piercings and whatnot. I thought that was really cool, just to give him extra like this guy's different. And then
yeah. I mean,
like to give us a reason to cut his head off.
Yeah, not like other mob bosses.
And bring it home.
The whole meatpacking plant was very mafia and just like back room. I always bring up Daredevil, even though I haven't seen Daredevil, and Matt yells at me.
Keep bringing
Please
it
watch
up.
it.
I'm gonna keep yelling at you.
Din Djarin himself told me to watch it last week, so I have to. So,
then you have to watch it now.
I know I have to.
Yeah.
So I think Jon Favreau really just wanted, for years, he's like, you know what? We need Mando to walk through those plastic sheets you see at a meatpacking plant.
They
You think
wanted
that's why
a
he
cool
started?
It was like the
silhouette.
coolest
It
shot
was
ever.
beautiful.
very cool.
Beautiful.
You know, he always tells us the story of like, oh, one day I was sitting around and then I thought of the Mandalorian and I started writing it, and then I came to Kathleen Kennedy. You think that's what he did? What did it? He was like
That was
watching a
the
show with
pitch.
like a meat packing plant. He's like, wait a minute, there could
Oh,
be a
you gotta have
Mandalorian
it.
standing behind those plastic strips. And then he went to like,
How can I make this Star Wars?
how can I make it
Exactly.
Star Wars? Then he
There you
wrote it
go.
and he was like, wait, I didn't make it Star Wars.
In Mando season 2,
He did. You put a Mandalorian in it.
at
Yeah.
the Mos Pelgo like cantina, or what do you call that? What do you call the Western bar?
Saloon.
The saloon.
The saloon. I don't know why I
The
couldn't think of it.
saloon.
Did they have the swinging doors
No,
or no?
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
So I was like, swinging
No.
doors and the
think
plastic
so.
strips. Those are the best things to walk through.
Have you ever seen a door swing in Star Wars? No.
Have you ever seen
No.
plastic strip? We're getting back.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
Getting
we
back
have.
to this.
Yeah, we
I
have.
know.
It's canon.
But
So.
actually, you're right. I've never seen a
Hanging?
door swing in Star
Sure.
Wars.
Like hanging, like a beaded curtain, like yeah, sure, but like a swinging door, no. Swooshing up and down, swooshing,
Revolving
open
doors?
and closing,
No.
revolving.
Beaded curtain? Are we talking about like
Revolving?
Star Wars hippies now?
Yeah, you remember in Rise of Skywalker? There's like the beads and whatnot everywhere, just like in
No.
the things like
Yeah.
hello and like
In
it's
Force
there's
Awakens,
like
when BB-8 goes through the things.
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
tent, but also
Anyways.
a beaded curtain. Anyway,
We're getting a
back
little off
to,
track.
back to
Riley,
Mandalorian.
what was like your favorite takeaway from this episode?
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite door in Star Wars?
The entire episode I was completely awestruck by. Like, yes, I was a little disappointed, obviously, that Boba was not in it. But everything, if people complain about it being fan service, I was a fan that was absolutely serviced.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I always love saying that.
I had people texting me after the episode being like, this episode was written for you, from like the BD unit to the N1.
Yes.
I was set. It is one of my favorite Star Wars episodes of TV show we've ever gotten. I loved it so much.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree. Like, I never understand when people complain about fan service. I mean, I guess you can have too much of it and it doesn't benefit the story maybe sometimes. But I mean, we're all super diehard Star Wars fans, so we're always gonna eat it up, even though Boba might not have been in it in his own show. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like you said. It was like it was my favorite Star Wars piece of television ever until this following one, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But,
Yeah. That's
Don't give us a segue before we started. We
No, I
get-
know. I'm getting ahead of
Yeah.
myself. I'm sorry. I'm opening the door, if you will, Matt, to the next episode. But Matt,
That was
what's your besides the meatpacking plant, Matt? What's your
Well, my favorite
Takeaway.
moment in the episode is from the meatpacking plant, and it's specifically when Din slices his thigh like deli meat.
Yes.
That is my favorite part of the episode because it's so realistic and so relatable. I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid playing lightsabers in the street with my friends,
as a kid?
I was
What?
hitting,
I'd slice my thigh like deli meat.
I was slicing. But like, I'm not even kidding. If you ever played lightsabers, you're bound to like hit yourself with the
Few
blade at
times.
any point in
Yeah.
time. And like, if that's a real lightsaber, dude, your like arm is gone. So, you know, to have that actually translate into Star Wars, somebody who's never held a lightsaber, has no idea how to use it, and actually hurts themselves using it, it was like, brought me back to when I was 10 years old, and I was slicing my own leg off and hopping around on one foot during a fight because that was the rules, you know.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Kid Matt in the mean streets of Boston. I can't like
I was a good lightsaber fighter. I could twist it and
I
twirl it.
bested you in college
That's true.
with the
this
helmet
is a
on.
true story.
This
Although it
is-
might have been
Oh,
scripted.
all right.
I like Din's scream before he cuts the guy in half. Like, what was up
Dude,
with that?
he was
He
Yeah.
was letting out
pissed.
some anger.
He was so pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm a
And
And he
big
just
fan of
sliced his thigh.
I'm a big fan
Oh,
of the
man.
noise that he makes before he falls off the catwalk when he's training. He's just like, oh!
I don't remember that one as
I
much.
remember the
I
noise.
cackled.
With
When
the
he just
jetpack or without
completely
it?
falls- With the
yeah, he's just
Okay.
and then he
'Cause
just
he
then
falls
he
off
just
twice.
rockets and then he rockets back up and so
He just,
When
like,
does he
the-
fall
the
off
sword-
without it?
Wait,
the armor like dings him on the head and then he just like falls off.
It's like bonk.
Doesn't he fall off when him and Paz are like wrestling?
Yeah, that's
go to,
later
like,
on.
another-
But when
yeah.
like
But
the
they land
armor
on
is like
something, yeah.
yelling at him in like Mandoa to like train, like
Mandoa.
she literally like he loses his balance and falls off, and it's
Like
it's
he
good.
he
It's good.
swings, but it's too strong, and he just goes whee, and it goes straight off.
Speaking of Mandoa, that is the
Yeah.
first live action Mandoa we have ever gotten.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
hadn't thought of that.
Some people
Yeah.
used to think that the scene in Attack of the Clones when Jango tells
Oh.
Boba to close the door, back to doors,
What's the
was
line?
Mandoa, and it's Boba, rude at sweet, which is literally just close the door backwards.
Yeah.
It was
It's still my
literally
favorite thing.
explained
Yeah.
as like a code that him and Boba developed to like.
Mhm.
So was
tell
that
his son how to
Mandoa
close
or was
doors.
that?
No?
No, it was speaking
Jangoa.
backwards.
But people used to think it was Mandoa until they
Mhm.
like specified, like, no, guys, like, pay attention. That's just close the door backwards.
AJ, that was a really bad joke.
Close the door. I've made like
Alright.
5 really bad jokes, and now we're talking about doors again. They have good doors.
This
on
is the
Camino.
This is the topic of the episode. dude.
Jamie, what
Oh,
was
boy.
Deal with it.
what
was
was
my
maybe
favorite
your
moment?
yeah?
Yeah, so it's already
Din Djarin's noise that he made.
so it's already been touched upon. Riley already mentioned it, but a BD unit showing up in this, like the moment BD just appears and just like the noise that I made was like, indescribable, and then he gets like clobbered immediately, and I literally it's like like it was like such like a big jump scare. I like could not deal with it. But everything that seeing BD interact with Peli, which also a favorite part, and Din was just like so cool because like obviously Din doesn't like droids, but he's really like come around to it, and so I love just like the progression of like BD's helping him, and he literally says to him, "Thanks, little guy," and it's just like Din, what do you, please?
He says little guy. He calls R2 buddy.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
cute.
He's coming around.
it's fantastic. Yeah, he is coming around.
growth.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I would
seriously.
say favorite part is BD and all of the droids that Peli has. Like she has Treadwell now, and obviously R5 and all the pit droids, who are just the little three stooges there. And then
Yep.
who's the other droid that and she has a gonk, which like has like a transparent top. What like what?
Clear gonk.
What?
Do you remember
Very
my
cool.
idea I pitched to you the other day that a droid's tale or whatever should be about Peli's pit crew there?
Yeah,
That would be a great
Yeah.
show, animated show.
That would be cute.
Yeah.
That would be very cute.
all of them. I like one of my like favorite like shots is like Peli saying, "All right, you guys get in there and like help BD," and it's all the droids just like hiding behind each other. I just love them so much. I love droids. Like it's oh god.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
They're
I
so
loved-
cute.
Oh yeah, I loved seeing BD actually do like the stuff from the game, where
Yeah.
he like actually projects like the
Yeah.
panel when they're like putting it on the
That's- yeah.
N1 and stuff like that. Like that was so cool.
And
It's
it's
not
like
just
this.
like a gameplay mechanic.
It's like the same animation of like when he's limping
yes,
as like
the
when
little
Cal's like leaning down to help him after he gets attacked by a what are they called? They're ugly. That's all I know. I can't remember. But like in the game, they use the same animation, and I was just like, oh, it was like the
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
meme pointing.
Yeah.
Man, that was such a shock too, because it was so unexpected to see a BD unit, and it was like it was changing to the Din showed up on Tatooine, and it was just that was the first shot, and it was like, oh my god. So, definitely a contender for my favorite moment too. But mine has to be the Naboo fighter.
Hot Rod N1.
So good.
There you go.
Just the
Yeah.
whole fixing it up, but mostly the flying it through the pod racing circuit there
Yeah.
and through
Beggars Canyon.
Beggars Canyon. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And to see
Seeing the smashed up service ramp.
yeah, they still haven't fixed it.
Still haven't fixed it.
The infrastructure on Mos Eisley or Mos Espa
crumbling.
still hasn't fixed it.
nothing.
But I don't know. I mean, that was such a blast. And then he takes it into space and buzzes around and gets pulled over for speeding. That's a very Din thing to do.
The best thing
So
about that,
good.
as like that's like happening, he like buzzes like the cruiser. AJ literally looks at me and he's like, "Do you think that's legal?" And then he gets pulled over immediately. And I'm like,
That's right.
The same thing. I'm like, he's way too
Obviously
close to
not.
that ship, dude. Like this is highly dangerous, highly illegal. And then he gets pulled over, and I'm like, good.
Yeah.
He needs to be
Justice.
This
This
is
to
the
be
second
taught.
time Din's been pulled over.
by the same
Come on,
guy.
man.
What are the
He has
odds?
a record.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
what is
He, like,
Krrsantan
Criminals
doing?
these days.
He's all
you
over
know?
the place.
he's trying to track down that one guy that he met that one time. He keeps running into him, and then he keeps getting away.
Yeah.
I like how he was like, you sound like that guy, but if he just looked out his window into the very clear,
Yeah. It's like,
could've seen
how
him.
many Mandalorians are walking around with shiny Beskar
know.
armor? Hello?
I know.
Yeah.
That
Poor
was
guy.
funny.
How does Carson think of this guy? Like, at first he met him in a Razor Crest in the middle of like this snowy like spider planet. Then he's in like this hot rodded N1 buzzing ships.
Man.
He thinks he's like the Dos Equis guy or something. Like, the guy in the galaxy.
He is Dos Equis
Living
guy.
a crazy life. He had a baby with him. Now he doesn't. I don't know. It's wild.
The most
Yeah.
interesting man in the galaxy, Din
It's
Djarin.
Din Djarin. 100%.
This episode was a 10 out of 10, or like damn well close to it. And then we got From the Desert Comes a Stranger. By the way,
Oh wait, hang on.
I just
One
wanted
mo-
to shout out Bryce Dallas Howard for being amazing. And give her more, give her a film,
Yes.
give her a trilogy, give
My
her a show.
gal.
Give
Love
her
her.
everything.
She's the best.
She really is.
I like how I said I want to give her a shout out as if she like listens to the
Yeah,
show.
she's listening.
Well,
Who watches?
Of course
she's
she's
listening.
listening.
Out there. She's
well,
listening.
hey, she has been the only director so far, actually, though, to post up a bunch of photos of reactions from fans. So
Yeah.
maybe. So
Very
Bryce,
cool.
thank you. Just throwing that
So
out there.
true. Thank you,
Never know.
Bryce.
One other thing before we move on to the next episode, I know we all really want to, but I absolutely love how they included the never gets old trope of the hero needs to unload a million weapons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the space
Man,
travel.
Din had to check the Darksaber in before
So
Check
flying.
all of the weapons, including the Darksaber. Oh my god. Like,
It very much
it was
reminded
perfect.
that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking that, and I was
Yeah.
like, should I bring it up? Nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Thank
I was
you.
literally like Leo DiCaprio meme pointing at the TV like, hey.
When she's pulling out like the giant gun, she's like pulling it out.
She's like,
Oh my god.
yeah,
That's
God.
good.
Perfect. Just perfect. Oh my god.
Din checking in the
So
weapons was
funny.
great, and just him getting mad at that droid.
I just love the
Yeah.
Rex
Yeah.
remember all
droid.
his.
They're so innocent. They're just doing what they want. They keep getting punished. They keep getting,
Deserved.
yeah. No, what?
Who, the droids?
The Rex droids.
Yeah,
the Rex
they
droids
just-
are the best.
They
The
should
one
just
in
let him
the-
in with his
yeah.
weapon. What are you just gonna do? Nothing.
Can those things move around, or are
Yeah.
they just stuck like where they're placed?
I think they're stuck where they're
Forever.
placed.
Actually, yeah, I
That
think they are
sucks.
stuck where they placed.
So that
that's
quick
punishment
guy-
on its own.
Drives his little shuttle
Life's
around,
hard.
and like that's it.
For a Rex droid.
I love how his first
Doesn't need to
reaction
be
is,
harder.
"Would you like me to get my manager?" And Din's like, "No, I don't
No.
need to."
Fine. I won't be a Karen today.
He's like, I don't want to deal with that.
That
Yeah.
planet
Yeah.
space station place was amazing too. It was Halo
Yeah,
or
that was
Ringworld or
crazy.
whatever
Oh
you
gosh,
want to
I
Yeah.
didn't even mention
We
that.
didn't even talk about
The
Ringworld.
ring.
No,
I
But now we did, so.
Now we
but
did.
now we did. Yeah, it was a Halo.
checked it off.
It's been
I
I
acknowledged.
don't know how the gravity works on that.
I think it's probably spinning, right?
Simpler
Probably
than
how
you
it
think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Matt, what
like-
was it you mentioned about something got built out of the Death Star? Was that in
Oh yeah,
Legends?
New Alderaan in the
that-
Aftermath trilogy.
So it's
Originally,
canon.
when I first saw it, before we learned the name and like everything, I thought it might be New Alderaan, which is after the second Death Star is destroyed and Alderaanian refugees start going back to the spot where their planet blew up. The New Republic just gives them the scraps from the first Death Star, and they're like, build a station.
But they missed some of it
Oh.
because it's in the ocean.
No.
And
The first Death Star.
oh, Death Star 1. Okay,
Death Star 1
Yeah.
that blew up their planet.
that
See,
would
it's
make more
poetry.
sense.
It rhymes.
Yeah, it rhymes
Hmm,
Every stanza
circle.
rhymes.
it
because
rhymes.
it's a ring.
But
I
anyway,
would've
that's not what
lost-
this was. This was Glavis.
I would have lost my
Glavis.
beans if it was New Alderaan. But
Lost-
that would have been too fast. Would have been too fast.
What is your guys' take on the? I'm curious. While we're on this episode, the armor and Paz. Like, what are your Dodge and Riley? Do you
In that entire covert.
do you like her? Or them? Or do you like? They're good. I think they're a good character.
If I see that woman in the streets,
Okay, good.
it's game time.
Yeah.
She needs to chill.
Oh yeah.
I
Quite
was
simply.
very upset. Yeah.
I'm glad we all agree.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool, but it's a cult. Like, there's no getting around it. It's a cult. Like,
Yeah, and they're delusional. They're crazy.
and
Too
it's
strict.
it's a little frustrating because people that haven't seen like the animated shows think that that's what Mandalorians are at their
Yes.
core, and it's like
Right.
no,
Yeah.
because they're just like, well, Din's not a Mandalorian anymore because he took off his helmet. It's just like that is not at all what that means.
I was
It means he's
talking
no
with-
longer in a cult.
I know. I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and he hasn't seen Clone Wars. He's actually starting to watch it, so I'm a little proud of him.
Just a little.
And he doesn't mind the armorer, so it's an interesting take because that's his first introduction to a group of Mandalorians, not everyone else we've met along the way. So it's interesting.
You're absolutely right. I never thought of that, but it's true. It bugs the hell out of me when people who have just watched The Mandalorian think that Mandalorians don't take their helmets off.
Yeah.
And even though it's explained in season 2, people still don't think Mandos take their helmets off. And I'm like, come on.
And this is the
Yeah.
way is
Yeah.
cringy.
This is the way. Except for that one time when they used
It's a
it.
vibe.
Nice.
Except
And
when
they got
Bo-Katan
it.
says it the one time that she does.
Well, she mocks
'cause,
it,
That
right?
was
yeah, because she just
sarcastic.
Put
Hey,
some tea on, I'm
it's
coming
good.
up. That was different. That was good.
in the same scene. You're close.
Yeah.
You're close.
But while we're actually talking about the armorer, just of her recounting the Night of a Thousand Tears,
Yes.
That was awesome.
there's so much meat in this episode.
It
literally
was-
and
Yeah.
metaphorically.
horrifying and beautiful. And what she said about Bo-Katan, I don't agree with, but that's her perspective because she's in a cult. That's fine. That's
All right.
fine.
I hope to see them clash one day.
I gotta clear this up. I gotta ask.
Yes.
Do you guys think they nuked Mandalore or not? Do you think those were nukes or not?
Man.
For
No.
some reason, Matt
Not nukes.
is so against it
Nukes.
being
Space
nukes.
They're not
nukes.
nukes. They're not.
I
Yes!
think
nukes.
I think they're
Spooks.
just.
Space
I
nukes.
just think they're giant bombs. I don't
Yeah.
think they're nukes.
I think they're just
No.
giant bombs, big bombs.
There was
Yeah.
mushroom clouds.
Do I
but
think
I'm not-
everything was
Mushroom
destroyed?
clouds.
Yes, but
Yes.
Or not.
We can all agree
nukes.
on.
I mean,
yeah.
it made it look like they like shot the building and the building exploded.
Right.
Like that's what I got. I didn't.
Well, there's like
think
a
it was,
bunch of
like-
bombers above it, and you see like a lot of little dots like falling
Mhm.
onto the building, like right before it
Yeah.
explodes.
I mean, considering how Mandalore was this basically like giant stockpile of military stuff, every bomb that they dropped, you know what kind of energy sources are underneath that city keeping it alive. It's just that's what exploded.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
that's true.
True.
The only reason I thought, I mean, I didn't even think nukes until Matt brought it up recently, but is it the KX droids or the K2 droids, whatever they're called?
Yeah.
They're walking, and there goes Matt. But I
Oh,
guess
Matt's
he's
Oh, well.
They're-
Oh, he's
You
back.
see,
I'm back,
you
don't
don't see stormtroopers down there. You see the K2 droids
Mm-hmm.
shooting at everyone. And I'm like, why would they choose to use those?
Because
Maybe
they're
there's radiation.
scary. There's no radiation.
No,
it's not
they're
bombs.
scary.
Well, why would
It's
they
not
use
nukes.
stormtroopers? They have plenty of
Does
them.
radiation
be-
exist in Star Wars?
I think
So
it,
this
okay.
is all
so
a very
there,
good
there is-
question.
there is radiation in Star Wars. In the Phasma novel, they talk specifically about like.
But Matt, why
radio,
are you
like,
so
nuclear plants?
against
Really?
it?
Because
Like,
so
it's,
many
It's funny you put your like hair up on your neck about it.
because it bugs me. It's like half people are like, "Oh, it's nukes," and half of them are like,
Okay.
"No, it's not nukes."
Well,
but
this
it's
is,
like
Matt gets
I'm-
into Reddit arguments with people, and we don't. Know that. So that's like where this all comes from.
it's a sticking point for me. I can't let
But-
it go.
The
I hear nuke and I
stormtrooper-
think Fallout. So
Yeah.
Me
The
too.
stormtrooper,
Yeah.
the stormtrooper idea is a good way to think that there could be nukes.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
what I
think
was
they
thinking.
They
The
Yeah.
droids because it looked Terminator-esque, and
Yeah.
it just looked cool.
they could have done like
It would have
both.
been cheaper to use stormtroopers.
if
Yeah,
not
exactly.
nukes,
It might have been a waste of resources. Like we don't know if
Mhm.
it might have been a waste of resources for deploying soldiers. Who knows?
and if
Maybe.
not nukes, it could have just been like deadly gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
like it could
Could've
have
been a
been
lot of things.
nukes. I feel like a lot of
Dioxin.
people just like say like nukes because like I don't know that means a really big bomb to most people. So
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Meanwhile, we
I
have
hear
like,
nuke and I think radiation and I think
Yeah.
Fallout
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Same. That's where my mind is
Really,
like
there's not
100%
much
of the
to
time.
nuke on Mandalore anyway. They already nuked themselves. They're already like a desert wasteland.
Mandalore was glassed.
Mandalore
place.
was glass before it was glassed. There was nothing there. There was a
Double
big- there was a bunch
glass.
of dome cities.
Double
Glass.
whammy.
Exactly.
Mhm.
They were
my
bombing
God.
nothing.
Yeah,
Can we
it's
talk
true.
about Cobb Vanth now?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can.
Yes,
wore the shirt.
absolutely.
I
So-
did too.
On to
So
I did
true.
too.
Chapter-
Look.
There it is.
a chapter 6 from the desert comes a stranger. I keep messing that up in my head, the order of that title, but it's like
It's
Return
kind of
of-
funky.
it is Return of the Mandalorian and From the Desert Comes a Stranger. I want both of those on a t-shirt. Like I would love to make the t-shirt, but it's probably copyrighted, so I wouldn't be able to. But those are the coolest two titles of anything, and maybe in Star Wars, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, they just, especially from The Desert Comes a Stranger. That's like so creepy, and we know who that stranger is later on, and that's also very creepy.
And that
but
scene
we'll
is
get
very
Yes.
creepy.
Like
that
the
is-
title definitely matched the scene.
Yeah.
like that sounds like the title of a short story horror thing, short
Mm-hmm.
horror story. I don't know,
It sounds like a Western. Period.
or that.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
Or that.
It sounds like a Western, and it
was a
was,
Western.
and it was everything, and it was perfect. And Cobb Vanth is back, and I'm so happy. And he's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's fine.
Absolutely
He's fine.
not. He got
Shot in
shot
the
No
in the shoulder.
comment. He's
Shoulder.
got
Yeah.
the shoulder.
Shoulder.
Listen,
Look at
Thank you for having
Look
Look
at
at
his
that.
face.
That's an artery
like,
right
oof.
there.
This
He's
is
like,
the
ooh,
only.
that stings.
This is the
Oh,
only image I
Sean.
have ready to go.
Flash.
Blaster bolts cauterize wounds just like lightsabers.
Yes.
Blade
No
got
blood.
absolutely blasted in the shoulder.
Unless you
But he
get
could be
knifed,
bleeding from
you're
the
not
inside
bleeding.
out.
She's fine.
You don't know.
Is the
That
deputy
it cauterized the
alive?
wound.
No. The deputy is dead.
Nah.
Deputy's
dead.
long gone. Good riddance.
Deputy-
Outta
They
here.
Get rid of him to the
We're all
mob
in
guy.
agreement. He's done.
They made sure you knew the deputy was dead because he shot that man several times.
Yeah.
He was
I
like,
love
get
how-
out of my way.
I love how no one in the
Deputy.
town rushed over to
That's
the
what
deputy.
that's what I was
They
about
all
to
Yeah.
say.
come.
Not only that, but this dude is slumped down in the corner, and everybody's like, "Oh, I hope Cobb's okay."
Yeah,
Running
they
over
all-
to him.
They were like,
They all hate that deputy.
oh,
They're like,
he's
Yeah.
dead.
Dude.
Anyway.
They're like, "Finally, we can park our speeders wherever we want."
Seriously.
This friggin' guy.
Oh,
It's like he
God.
never listened to instructions anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a stiff. Although he tried, he was loyal to Cobb. We gotta
He's
give
new.
it to
Too
him.
He's
loyal
new.
to Cobb. He put him in danger. Cobb would not have gotten murked if he didn't try to shoot
But then Cad Bane would have
Cad
died,
first.
and that would have also been sad.
So let's do a roundtable
I
again
got shot in the shoulder.
of favorite parts.
Yeah.
Riley, you go first this time.
Oh my god. Okay. So people that know me know my affinity for Anakin Skywalker, okay? Just Ahsoka and Luke being confirmed to have known each other, and then her saying to him, so much like your father, literally I ascended.
Yeah,
That I literally cried. It was like, oh god. And then her also seeing R2 again. It's just like, okay, she not only has Luke to be connected to Anakin, but also someone that she fought alongside basically all those years ago.
She should
I
have called
know.
him R2.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
R2E. I was taken
Yeah.
back to just like little Ahsoka hanging out with R2, getting into trouble, and they schemed Mando hard. They prevented him.
dude.
They made him fall asleep on a bench.
What the hell was
What was
that?
Mando doing?
That was so funny. He was like, is this a bench?
He shows up,
And
looks
then
at a
falls
bunch of
asleep.
ants building a temple, robotic ants, and then falls asleep.
He's the most interesting man in the galaxy.
Yeah.
He needs to
God.
rest him.
it pretty
Oh.
much was like the John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, just like looking around, just like
Yeah.
looking at like all the ants and then, like not understanding anything that's happening. And I just,
Oh my
it
god,
just-
yeah.
I love how we have two at least like iconic nudes in moments of just like cutting himself with the lightsaber or the dark saber in the last episode, and then in this one just the is that a bench?
Yeah.
Are you a
Is this a
Jedi?
bench?
Is that a
Are
bench?
you a Jedi?
I
Are you a
loved
Jedi?
him. He's so
Tell me, he's fantastic.
Just asking obvious questions.
Oh my god.
But to go back to the Ahsoka and Luke talking about,
right.
I'm so glad they brought up Anakin in that moment, because I was a little afraid they wouldn't, but it was Filoni who did this episode, so that would have been
Yeah.
a crime. And I was stunned to see Ahsoka show up. I think we all might have been, because
I know.
Yeah.
we knew Luke and Grogu were likely coming, and then Ahsoka's just standing there, and we did the Leo thing like 20 times pointing at the TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty jarring to see her, and but it made
Jarring.
sense for Filoni. Filoni always finds a way to get Ahsoka into the episodes, into his
true.
work.
And
Love that
also,
for him.
the
Oh wait.
Order
We'll talk-
66.
Ooh.
We're gonna talk about that. I'm like, wait, gonna talk
That's
about
got to be
that.
somebody's favorite moment, right?
Yeah, it's mine.
Favorite,
All right.
but, yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll
As
talk
it
about
should
that.
be, honestly.
Jamie, do you want to? We'll get to Dodge after, but do you want to talk about Order 66 now while we're at it?
Not really, but I will.
What a
Right.
mood. Oh
That's
my
usually
god.
how it goes.
So it's
Bible
2022, and we need to relive Order 66 again. Because
Again.
why not? Just why not? So I love how it actually went down. We still don't know how he escaped, but I love how it went down with Luke. Literally, also Luke. Luke is literally just looking at Grogu, and he's like, "Would you like to remember? I can help you remember." And he like just the way he just puts his hand on Grogu's head, and Grogu like just like a little shudder, and it's like, oh no.
It's messed up.
Yeah. So like seeing.
Yeah.
Seeing 3 Jedi give their lives immediately. First of all, I'm like, we're seeing like actual like, prequel Jedi again. It was just really cool to see. One of them was doing a crazy like backhand move. We're not talking about that. But then like we have like the clones. That we have the 501st clones, which were actual guys. They weren't
physical
CGI,
armor.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
out.
confirmed that they were real?
They were.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
were?
they were.
Okay.
They were. Oh, they
I
were.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I would say at least the
That
3 that
sucks.
were, but then who knows about the
I
rest.
don't know if I
I don't know.
can say. I think I do know who actually made the armor, like the company, but I don't want to say it in case it's wrong.
That's fair. That's fair.
But they were real, and it was very sad. And we ended up seeing like baby Grogu again, which was like
Doing absolutely
really-
nothing to help.
yeah.
Good job, Grogu.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he was
He was
like-
like 20. He was like
he's
20.
a baby,
He,
an actual baby.
He's in his
Uh,
20s, living his best life.
Yeah.
so
and
am I. I'd help.
But yeah, I
So
love how
true.
they
So
show the little
true.
baby, and then it cuts back to just seeing him again. And I love how you don't realize it looking at it one image after the other, but seeing very baby Grogu and then Grogu actually more grown, it's like, oh right, this little green dude has grown.
A more grown baby.
Yeah, a more grown baby, and it was just cool. And like, I love how Luke literally is like, "Oh, you're finally awake," and I'm like,
It's like, you're the one who did this to me, Luke.
Yeah.
Don't chastise me. You're making me
Traumatized
relive this.
child.
You're making fun of my species. You're like, oh, you remember any funny talking aliens? Oh, let me make you relive some genocide real quick. Oh, you're finally awake. Oh, don't eat that frog, Luke.
When he's jumping, he's like, "Oh, that's all you got."
I can't. I loved it.
Rude Luke. I mean, this was AJ and I, the three of us. We have a descriptor for Luke from Return of the Jedi, and I think it fits it really well. It's stick up the butt, Luke.
Yep, stick up the butt, Luke.
Stick up the butt, Luke is from Return of the Jedi, classic, iconic. Carries over perfectly into this. I mean, this is stick up the butt, Luke times like 10. It's bamboo stick up the butt, Luke.
He has a little bit of fun. He climbs
A
a
little
tree,
bit.
looks around.
Okay, we'll get to that because that's my favorite moment.
We'll
but
get to that in a minute.
I don't want to
All
keep
right.
doing that to
All
Dodge.
right, all
So
right.
Dodge, what's your favorite
Oh,
moment?
no, good.
Everyone's well,
Okay. Well, so mine was actually the part where the little droid, they do the training droid and it shoots Grogu.
Yeah.
I cackled. I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's horrible, but I literally had to
You
stop.
are psychotic.
I had to stop the I had to stop the
It's
show
okay.
because I could not stop laughing. Because I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be so funny if it shot him. And then it shot him, and I was just like, thank you, Dave Filoni. I appreciate that. But,
Oh my
but
God.
I mean that was freaking hilarious. But my my actual like favorite part was when Dan is handing over the gift to Ahsoka, and he's like, but he's right there. I came all this way, and his voice is cracking. And I was just like, I just love the selflessness of Din and how he still continues to make decisions on behalf of Grogu, even though it's so hard for him. And that scene just hurts my soul. I love it though. That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, it was so sad that he was
Yeah.
right
That was
there.
rough.
And
Yeah.
dude, you think Grogu saw him? Because like,
Yeah. Well,
I
he
think he
saw
felt him.
Sensed
he saw the
him.
ship.
Yeah.
not to mention it's like the shiniest person of all time. Like,
Chinese
Yeah.
person
Yards
in the
away.
shiniest ship.
Yeah.
I agree that
He
he must
felt
have
him.
felt him. Yeah, he must have felt him. I agree with that. And then he
Which-
sees the ship leaving. So
yeah,
That makes it so much more heartbreaking. Like, that's probably why he got distracted while he was meditating. Like, not just the
Yeah.
frog, but like he felt his dad. and then to just see his dad leaving without saying hi, that is
Yeah.
And he reached out to
heartbreaking.
him.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Friggin' bouncer Ahsoka won't let him in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
jerk.
okay.
Come on,
Throw
both
him out of
of
the
them.
club.
Unbelievable. Take his fake. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I love in the background of Din giving Ahsoka the little chainmail. And we see like Luke and Grogu just on the top of the hill, and you just see the very smallest of boop, the very
Yeah.
smallest fist bump in the world. Like,
So cute.
what are they doing up there? I love it.
Mhm.
It was so sad.
Luke
There
is
were many
having
sad
so much
moments.
fun.
Yes. He somehow is. He's very confused, though, I would say.
Yeah.
Just like his father.
We'll get
Matt,
that.
do you want to get to your climbing the bamboo part?
Yeah, so my favorite moment is when they climb the bamboo. Thanks. No, but we'd already got into that. But specifically, like all the training stuff was just beautiful. First of all, I didn't actually expect us to get Grogu training. I did not expect to see Luke training Grogu.
Mhm.
I thought, like the end of season 2, they looked like they were struggling with Luke hard. Like his face, and
Yeah.
the amount of things they had to do to put that together. It was like, that was like the only time I figured that we would ever see Luke. And then we just go, and he's like, oh, let me build my temple. Oh, let me chill with Ahsoka. Oh, let me train Grogu. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? First of all, I'm watching Book of Boba Fett. Like, I didn't go into the show expecting any of this. And now
Yeah.
like, we're here, and I'm like the happiest person alive. But at the same time, I'm like, where did this come from? Like, I couldn't prepare for it. And
Mhm.
that scene, I mean, I'm a sucker for the Jedi. The Jedi are like my favorite thing in Star Wars, like 100%. Them climbing the bamboo with Grogu in the little backpack, this thing.
So proud of that backpack.
It's like
I-
peaceful.
And then just like saying like, oh, like feel the force. They're looking at this like peaceful valley with like this nice stream. It's calm. It's just chill. I love the planet they're on. Give us a name for the planet they're on. For the love of God, Lucasfilm, what are you doing?
Yeah, because it's obviously got to be the same one. I know we talked about this a bit.
I think so.
that
Yeah.
we see
I
in
mean,
the flashback in Last Jedi, right? So.
Yeah.
I firmly believe it's the same planet. I want to learn more about it because it is such a perfect place to train Grogu. It's got the little water stones that you can like hop over, and it's got the nice tree, the hill with the tree on it. I mean, everything is just so chill.
Knowing the
and tranquil.
Jedi, that's like the perfect place for a temple. And I know there was like thousands of temples, but the main one we always knew in the prequels was on Coruscant, and it's
this hustling,
That's not
bustling,
the place-
smoggy, busy place.
yeah, that's not the place where these Jedi should be. And I mean, maybe that was foreshadowing for their downfall. I don't know.
Oh, they
But,
lost their way, all right. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
they already lost their way at that
They
point.
got lost.
Yeah.
They built the temple on Coruscant.
But this planet is just
Oops.
beautiful. With the bamboo, the babbling brooks, as you call
Yep.
them, Matt.
The ant droids.
The ant droids. Where did
Lifting
Luke
rocks.
get those?
Yeah, where the hell? What do you buy them
What is with these
wholesale? How do you get like
robots?
30
Lando,
ant droids?
Lando found them, I bet.
Well,
Ugh.
honestly, yeah, because Han starts a business where he's like shipping, and him and Lando go into like droid ventures together, where they're like building droids and like doing
Is
stuff
There
like
you
that.
go.
I wouldn't be
First
surprised.
shot or whatever that's called.
Yeah, last shot.
last shot.
First shot, last
First
shot.
shot, last shot. whatever.
Same thing.
So I actually wouldn't be surprised if he got them from Han or Orlando or both.
Makes sense.
I read that book and I don't remember that, but all right.
Maybe we'll see Han next week.
Oh,
I don't know.
We'll get to that.
Don't
We'll get
I
to
would
that.
be
We'll get to
I
that.
would be stunned if we got back to Luke and Grogu next episode. Like
yeah.
there's still
Yeah.
it's the last episode.
There's
Maybe
so
like
much that
post
needs to
credit.
be done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said the same thing 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to visit Grogu next episode.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
didn't
I
think
thought
they
too.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
then they
really
did.
didn't think
They
they were going to
should.
show it.
I
The
also
fact they
didn't think
did.
it would be chainmail, and it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Y'all were
baby chainmail.
so confident. You're like, ah, it's not chainmail.
Well, because I was like, that's not really in universe, but okay, Dave Felony.
How does that exactly work, though? Like a lightsaber blade can just like go like between the links, right? Like
No.
You know what's
They're
gonna
so
stink?
I don't
tight
think so.
together.
It's gonna
No.
stink when he outgrows it, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna fit him anymore.
Also, he's gonna be
It could
like
be like a
freaking
glove.
he's gonna be
naked.
tiny forever.
Yeah, what is he gonna be wearing? Like
He's gonna be wearing
just
it over his
like,
bag.
Or under the
bag.
bag.
It's-
Or
the
under
bag is too fluffy. It can't fit
Frodo
over.
Baggins wears his chainmail under his clothes, right? So
That's true.
Yeah,
True.
that's
I
true.
don't know.
That's
It's a similar kind
actually
of vibe.
traditionally where you wear chainmail armor.
What if he
You
just
don't
wears
want
the
your enemy to
chainmail?
know you are wearing chainmail.
Just a chainmail, just running around.
Just chainmail.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm
When is
fine
he
with
gonna-
that.
When's he
I'm
gonna
not
get a new
fine with
outfit?
that.
He's just been wearing that stinky bag for like
I
3
know.
years.
Unless he has like 3 stinky bags that he's like swapping
He
out.
just switches. What if he
That's
gets a
literally the
little
first
Jedi
thing
robe?
that. That's literally the first thing that Luke does when he takes Grogu to this planet. He's just like, "All right, we got to give you a bath because
Yeah.
God."
He definitely did.
Has that Mandalorian ever bathed you? No?
No.
All right. And then
It's like you were
dragged
stinking
into the
up Red
water.
5. All right, we gotta
Yeah.
go.
It's R2 who's
Oh,
able
that's a
to
good
tell.
point.
He's just like, whoo.
Where was Red 5
Anyway.
parked? We didn't see it.
It's a
That's
really
true.
good
Probably
question.
wherever
In the
the
swamps.
He likes
Like,
to park it
close
under
to
the
it.
water a lot of the time.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's under the
Dagobah
river.
and Octu.
He like calls
Yeah.
back to Yoda. He's like, "Hey Yoda, you here? Watch this."
Watch this, you're gonna laugh.
He just shows
I-
up every time.
Every time
I
he has to
love
go
that.
somewhere.
I loved that though. To get us back on track, I loved that with like Grogu getting distracted by the little frog and trying to get it, and then Luke just being like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then he just lifts all of the frogs, and it's so simple. It's like
Yeah.
exactly the same as like Yoda lifting the X-wing and whatnot, and
Ray lifting
except
the
with
rocks.
frogs.
yeah, except with frogs, and it was just like so cute to see,
And
like
the entire training sequence was like a callback to Empire.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is
Flips,
Perfect.
the running. Then he jumps on
loved it
that,
so
that
The
much.
music's great. too.
hippo water beast thing that I
Yeah.
love.
Water
Love
buffalo.
that
He was just
guy.
trying to snooze.
He was just
Come on.
trying to snooze. And Luke doesn't even like hop on him. You know how they do like they like jump from
He,
like
like,
thing to thing. He like
yeah.
slides on his back. I'm like, dude,
Mhm.
Yeah.
chill out.
I know.
A lot of
Those
momentum
boots
on
better
that
not
one.
have like good grip, or that hurts.
I think if you look close to their sneakers again. AJ, did you have a favorite moment?
Yeah.
You
Although-
made your last ha.
It was a very bittersweet
Oh
favorite
boy.
moment because we love Cad Bane, and the way his entrance was just amazing. Walking like
Yeah.
miles and miles. There's probably a trail of toothpicks behind
So
him.
far.
He
Talk about parking far away.
Find his
Yeah,
way
where
home.
did he park?
Find his
Um, And Cobb just sees him and he's like a bit spooked. But we knew someone was gonna get
Immediately.
shot in this duel. Obviously, that's how duels work.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not gonna be Cad Bane because he's just showing up again,
Can you imagine?
and it's gonna be Cobb
Yeah.
He
Vanth.
walks
But
all the way into town. They face
And they
off,
just
and they just kill him off. And he's like,
yes,
"Stay away,
that
stay away
was
from
all
the
going
spice."
through my head.
Just gets shot, dropped dead. The end.
The Cad Bane reveal was honestly overshadowed by the fact that like Cobb Vanth sees him, and then you see very far away that it's Cad Bane coming, and like people who've seen the animated stuff know based on the hat alone, and it's like, oh shit. And so like literally the moment we saw that, I'm just like, Cobb Vanth is going to die. I was like, I don't want to watch this. And so like the entire like Cad Bane walking up, I'm just like antsy, because I'm like, he's not
Ants.
going to survive.
It's-
Ants. Oh my god. But yes, he's not dead. Just look at
Not
that.
dead.
No,
in the
he's
shoulder.
he's dead.
No,
What?
Look
he's
at look
not.
at his face.
He
Look,
can't-
he's
Yeah, Matt.
absorbing. He's
Enough-
absorbing.
No,
We've been having a
enough
Twitter
with the
beef
shock
with Dodge.
value.
He's gone.
No,
He's
no,
gone.
No.
The funeral is going to be on Wednesday,
No.
so
No.
I'll see you guys there.
Dog,
Wear black.
you're about to get suplexed. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm
I'm
going
into
to
that.
laugh so hard.
No,
if
you're
it is
not.
his funeral. Yeah, I
You're
am.
gonna
I'm
feel
gonna be
bad.
cackling.
I thought
No,
you
you're
loved.
gonna
I
feel
thought you
bad.
loved Cobb Vanth.
I do love Cobb Vanth, but
Are you
I make
sure?
one tweet. I make one tweet, and everyone starts attacking me, and I'm like, never mind. I hate Cobb Vanth. I hope he dies.
We've seen people get
I
shot in the
appreciate
shoulders
the
so
humor. I
much.
appreciate the initial attempt.
Thank you.
I
I
like
mean,
the
I
bit.
tried to
But,
spice up Twitter.
It's
but he's
it's a
dead.
good bit, and we're all just giving you a hard time. So I appreciate it though.
Mostly.
But he's not gonna die. There's no way he's gonna die
fine.
because
He's alive.
Mando
He's
needs
dead.
him really
He's
deeply,
gone.
and no, he's not dead. He's not gonna die.
He's getting up. They're
That's
getting
why
med packs for him.
they
instead.
showed it. Oh, they only shot Cobb like in the shoulder, but then he like unloaded on the deputy.
Yeah.
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 Like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
So
And you know-
Dodge,
Yeah.
you cackled when Grogu got shot, and you're gonna cackle if Cobb Vanth is dead. This is
The
It's
cackle
quite
count.
interesting.
I like
The
chaos.
cackle count.
All right.
I mean, I just think it was funny. Like, I knew Grogu wasn't gonna die, but Cobb Vanth was. Well, obviously, I was shocked about Cobb Vanth. I was like, "Oh, poor boy." And then I make one tweet, and I was like, "Wouldn't that be so funny if he died?" And everyone's like, "How dare you delete
Because
your
why
tweet?"
would it
I'm
be
I don't
like,
even know
funny.
this tweet.
Because
I don't even know
because
this
I
tweet.
just thought it'd be so funny because I tweeted today. I tweeted, I like, what if the finale starts at Cobb Vanth's funeral? Like, it just like opens up to his funeral. I just thought that would be so funny. Like, I just
It'd be
think
very-
that would be
it'd be very
hilarious
emotional.
because everyone loves him, and and everyone's like, "Oh, he's fine, and then it's like opening scene, and it's like he's dead on the table.
Dodge is
and they're all
writing an
saying
episode
their
of Riverdale over here.
What
I
the
know.
hell?
I just think it would be funny, but everyone started attacking me.
Oh my
I
god.
I think it would be
Ironic.
funny.
Well,
Everybody loves
cyberbullying.
him, but it would be so funny if he was dead.
Right.
It would be
What
like
quote?
it would
What
be
quote? Can
such
we
it
quote
would
that?
be it would
Can we
be
put that on
such
screen?
a shocker.
It's already out there. We all know who said it. Dodge. No, I'm kidding.
Whatever.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm kidding.
regret nothing.
Hey,
But
like I said, I
It's gonna
appreciate
start
the
with
humor.
the deputy's funeral, and there'll be like
There
one
you go.
person at it.
And then
And it'll
Cobb
be like
Vanth,
Cobb in like a
he's
sling.
gonna have like a little, he's gonna have like a bandaged shoulder. and he's gonna
not
be like,
the hunter sling. See, that's the thing though, is because Hunter got
Oh no.
Hunter got shot in the shoulder, but he was wearing armor. Okay.
Hunter's
Hunter shot in the
dramatic.
chest.
Hunter's
got
so
shot.
dramatic.
Cad Bane's
shot.
undefeated.
Okay.
Are they going to wrap the bandages over the shirt again? Because
Oh,
they
no.
did that to Hunter
You're right.
in the Bad Batch, but that's
That's
because it was animation.
ridiculous.
But we can't use that as an excuse because we had shirtless Rex on the farm.
So are we gonna get
So-
shirtless Cobb?
Just showing up just like Cad
Hey,
Bane did.
kill him.
Listen.
Dude, my
No.
my lanky boy, I wouldn't mind seeing those ribs.
Our
Come on in,
survey-
dude.
You want
I'm
to see
gonna need a
scrawny
few
Cobb
minutes.
Vanth?
I want to
walking
see
out of the city.
scrawny Cobb Vanth crawl out of the sand with bandages all
Matt,
over him.
you really have a thing for scrawny guys. You thought Martian Rowe was supposed to be scrawny.
He was supposed to be scrawny. He's not supposed to be a beefcake. Get out of
According to
here,
who?
dude. He's not. I'm sorry.
Matt says Squidward in this situation with the oh no, he's hot.
No, he's hot.
Oh no, he's not.
It keeps happening.
Uh,
Stop making Markion Rowe hot. It's not. It's not good. It's not a good
Okay,
too late.
so
I had a comment about something that Cad said
please.
Yeah.
when he's trying to convince Cobb to like not help Boba. Just the ferocity in his voice when he says Boba Fett is a cold-blooded murderer who worked for the Empire. I was like,
Shut that
pause,
up.
Yeah.
pause. First of all, coming from you, pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm wondering if their beef is canon, even though it was like a scrapped that animation of him giving Boba the dent in the helmet.
I think it is
I hope it's
because he
canon.
has the metal plate on his head.
Right.
From
and
where
I just
he
think
got
it's
shot.
I just think it is so funny that this man had beef with a child. Boba was a child.
And he almost
Why
died
not?
because of it.
I
Well,
know,
I
People
that's
have
wonder.
beef
so
with
funny.
children in
I
Star
wonder.
Wars. Anakin
it
had
would
beef
be-
with children.
Yeah. Just children in general.
Yeah.
Moff Gideon had a beef with a child. I mean, it's
It's just like,
how
are
it
y'all
is.
okay?
This is interesting.
Trauma.
I mean,
Well,
I hope they
wonder.
hold up the beef. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if like in the final battle or whatever. Like obviously, I want to see Fennec and oh my gosh,
Cad.
Cad.
Cad. Why do I keep on thinking
Because
Cobb
it's-
and I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
not
I
Cobb.
keep
He's
getting
They can't do
dead.
this to us.
Stop.
Cobb and Cad
And-
is way too close
I
together.
know exactly.
Come on,
Thank you.
guys.
Well, I
You
need
know,
them
they
to
never
have a
said-
rematch.
They do. They do. That needs
Yeah.
to come up because we
But-
need to tie in the Bad Batch to this.
We
a
need
little-
that
just a
rematch.
little bit.
Yeah,
Cobb
we
needs to
we
get his
an Omega
revenge.
reference. Yeah,
Boba
we
needs
and
to
need-
drop this dude now.
Yeah, they
I
all
wonder.
do.
I wonder maybe like Cad says something about his dent or something in his
That we
helmet.
need that. Oh, you
And
still
he's
got
like,
that
he's
dent.
like, he's still, yeah, something like that. Well, so people know that they have beef in the past, and that could be a reason why he is involved in this like civil war or whatever, because he has a personal vendetta against both Fennec and Boba, and he's like, all right, I gotta be there,
Yeah.
you know.
Why do you think Boba keeps the dent? Is it like a tomater move of keeping,
Yes.
keeping the scratches
My
and the dents?
friend gave this to me.
Maybe it's kind of just like a trophy.
I
Of some
think it's
sort.
more
I mean,
like
I hope
that.
he keeps it just to bring it up. That he didn't forget that Cad gave it to him.
It's because he
Snow
doesn't know the
plows.
armor. He can't fix it.
Yeah,
It's Beskar. It's too
That's
tough.
good.
Yeah.
fix it. Fill it in with a little something. I don't know.
Fill it in with what? Silly putty? What is he doing?
Plaster.
Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
did it.
Don't mind me.
I have another
Good
question for you guys.
Question. Oh,
You have a question
okay, you
too?
go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was gonna. The question is, AJ, why didn't you recognize Cobb Vanth based on his pockets alone? And I did.
You were
I
the
thought
one
it was
working on
his
the
ass you
costume.
recognized him from.
Well, that
I knew
one pockets.
instantly.
That is
Ass.
Cobb Vanth's ass.
Pocket, if you will.
It sure as hell was.
It was also like 6 a.m. and I
still
was like,
is his
where
ass.
am
It
I?
was 6 a.m., but I knew that ass. So anyway,
My
that wasn't
question-
actually the question. My question was serious. Why do you think that Cad Bane is working with the Pikes?
Or is he? Because
Vendetta.
that's my question.
Well, he
I
says
honestly
he does
think
the whole
Riley
spiel
nailed
about
it.
the Pikes.
Like it's a beef thing.
He had beef
It's
with
all-
the child.
He
Yeah.
has
It
beef.
all comes back to Boba.
We have the-
He's making so much beef though. He makes beef with Boba. He makes beef with Fennec. He's now made beef
And
with
Cad's the
Cobb.
one who took out the Tuscans.
It's the
Bro.
new realist beef. We don't know,
I
but I
need-
think that's true.
You need a meat
could
locker
be.
to hold all
And
this
not
beef.
only did he have the beef with Boba, he had beef with clones that looked like Boba.
Yes.
Yeah,
And Fennec.
This
did.
guy
And
just
Fennec.
hates this
And
man's
Fennec.
face.
And Fennec.
Hates
Yeah.
the face.
Maybe he had beef with Django. Who knows?
He probably
Maybe.
did.
This
Wait a
man's
minute.
old. Okay, he's gone
He's
through
like
a lot.
so old.
75. showing up.
He's gone
Actually,
through every generation.
we know Cad Bane was trained by Jango Fett. I think that's in the canon Maul comic. I think, if I'm
What?
remembering correctly.
That's a deep.
Yeah, Cad Bane is like
Oh,
trained by
okay.
Jango to be like top
Oh,
dog,
no.
but then Jango is like, I'm top dog. Then he dies, so Cad
No,
Bane's
I'm
like,
dirty
no,
dog.
I'm top dog, and that's why he takes Boba under his wing, so he can train him and then kill him and be like, I'm top dog.
He
And then that
had
doesn't
beef with a boy and his father.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
my god.
Boba needs
He's
to
so
drop him.
messy.
This is
Oh.
the new realist beef.
He needs
I'm
the
so
toothpicks, though,
excited.
to bring him back. Those teeth.
For the beef. He needs it for the beef.
The meat room was foreshadowing for the beef.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that this
My-
is the new
my
realist
question-
beef. Like, oh my god, I can't. Like,
My question was, do you guys think, I know Jamie and Matt's take, do you guys think the Pikes are the real bad guys, or do you think there's someone higher up? Because something doesn't add up to me.
Crimson Dawn.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm still in this point where I'm like, I don't know what's going on really in this plot. Like there's
Same.
so much going on and we have one episode left and I have so many questions.
Manifesting
So-
season 2.
I
know.
know. I'm hoping
We'll see about that.
I don't know.
I guess it'll just be Mando
really don't
season
know.
3 is
I mean-
Boba season 2.
Yeah, like I said,
I
it doesn't
know.
matter what they call it. They could call it something totally different. Called Beefathon, for all we care.
The beef,
Yeah,
the
the
beef of Boba
beefathon.
Fett.
The beef of Boba Fett.
we already got that. He was like naked in like every single episode so far.
That's
and it's
true.
great. But like we've barely
That is
seen him the
true.
past couple
The
episodes.
beef of Boba Fett.
Beef of Boba Fett. Hmm.
Oh, man.
You want to really the beef of Boba Fett? You gotta
Talking
go back
about
to when
Cobb
Black
Vanth
Krrsantan
and
yanks him
we're
out of
talking
the.
about Boba's beef.
and all the
thing.
beef.
Hey,
I forgot about
what about the
Krrsantan already.
what about all the Camino flashbacks? Hey, I just remembered. Wait.
They
Uh,
never
sorry,
showed the
sorry.
doors.
Sorry.
They never
Doors.
showed
They
that they
did
were
not show the
swinging
doors.
doors.
There's no swinging doors, guys. I'm gonna have to keep up with
Regarding the
Codex.
Pikes,
No hinges.
before we get
No hinges,
before
no
we
hinges in Star
we're
Wars.
floundering, guys. Back to the Pikes.
Sorry.
The
Oh,
doors.
jeez.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't think that the Pikes are the big bad. I think that there's something else like controlling them in some way, shape, or form. But
I'm the only person.
I hope it's something with Crimson Dawn because of like the musical cues alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll be very disappointed if the music doesn't actually like lead to something.
Like
So
whether or
Matt-
not Kira is still in charge of that,
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah.
But like, I think Crimson Dawn is involved.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
it'll be like a little jarring if it was Kira because like Solo takes place in such a different time. For like a casual viewer, it just would not compute. I mean, like
Yeah.
I
Maul
have an
didn't even
idea.
compute for people. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
well, that's my idea, right? The new person in charge of Crimson Dawn, after they lose, they turn on a hologram, and it's Kira sitting on a little throne with a double-bladed lightsaber and a hood on,
There we go.
and we just continue.
And
the
she
cycle.
says, "Come to me on Dathomir."
"Yep, she's
Yeah.
on Dathomir now."
Exactly.
All right, Matt.
I like that.
I think that's likely. I think that's probably the
Do
most
you-
likely thing.
It's
Yeah,
Star
do
Wars. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Seriously.
Do you guys think the mayor is part of Crimson Dawn?
Yes.
Or do you
Yeah.
think I have to okay, do you think we're gonna see the Hutts again and do you think we're gonna see the mayor?
I want to
know,
see that
because-
again.
so much-
I don't think
There's one
I will.
episode.
There's so much.
Where are the
I'm
Hutts?
like-
Why did they leave? The mayor is doing God knows what. The
He was on
shadow
vacation,
from the
scheduled
shadow in the
vacation.
mayor's office looked like the Crimson Dawn logo.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's
The
why I
mayor's
do think
on
there will be a
vacation.
season 2 because they didn't announce it as a limited series like they did with Kenobi.
Yeah.
True.
I think
So
I
I
think
think there
Tamira
will be a
Morrison
season
has
2.
described it as a limited series in interviews,
And
but that could change.
he
And
doesn't
also,
know.
he could just like not have a clue what the hell
He's
he's
throwing
talking
us
about.
off.
Hmm.
Although he did
Yeah.
say Krrsantan, which I loved. He
Mhm.
knew what he was
Well,
talking
but
about there.
also we have Mando season 3 coming out, and that is gonna come out this year, later in
Yeah.
the year. But it's like that's around the same time. So I wonder if they're doing Boba and then they're doing season 3 to fill up the space, and we see Boba in that, and then we do Boba season 2, and it's like after that. So it's like more of a time jump.
This is
Yeah.
too
But
much
still.
all at once.
And if
That's
Crimson
a long
Dawn-
time jump.
Yeah.
What
if
is
they
the story of
introduce
this show?
Crimson Dawn in the finale, at the very end,
No clue.
that
Where the
could
hell are we
spin-
going with that?
That could spin into the villain for Mando season 3, and then we know eventually Thrawn is
Thrawn.
coming. Well, eventually,
Whenever
not
that
se-
hell that is.
That's in a while. Yeah. So there's
I
a lot
guess.
going on.
Who hired the Red Key Raiders?
This
What happened to
is-
Garza Flip? Is she dead? Is Max Rebo
Oh,
safe?
she's dead.
There's
Max Rebo-
actually
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's actually a theory of that gang not killing the Tuscan tribe that Boba was rocking with, and that it was actually Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what I
like
thought.
because Fennec like makes like an offhanded comment like something like, "Are we sure that was them?"
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
something like that. So
No,
I won-
I'm in agreement with
One
that.
and
I-
done. Kintum Striders. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Mm.
R.I.P. My boys.
I was gonna say like maybe like Fennec like noticed like how they were shot or killed and was like that looks familiar, but she didn't see them. She only saw them when they were flying over. So
Right.
mhm.
So like, what the hell does she know?
everything.
Apparently.
Fennec's the best.
Absolutely everything.
I'm scared of her. I love it.
Mhm.
I want a Fennec spinoff.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I just oh my gosh,
Or
I just
something
want
like that.
everyone.
Yeah. Star Wars.
I want a
just
reality
everyone.
TV show of everyone. I just need it.
That's
There
what the
you go.
beef with Boba Fett is.
That,
That's what
yeah, yes, that would be a perfect
That's the
reality,
reality show.
because
The
like,
beef
we
of
could
Boba Fett.
literally have
It's
like,
like-
Fennec shows up and she's like, Krrsantan is leaving hair in the shower again. I'm glad he's taking a shower, but
He's
like
one on
gotta
one
clean his
into the
hair.
camera. Like there's hair everywhere.
And it's
It's
like Din
wet
has
hair.
not showered in 4 months.
And then they just cut to like Black Krrsantan, and he's just like,
and it just shows like Boba like jamming in the kitchen making dinner,
With that.
and Fennec's like, I
Forearms
can't
are
deal
in.
with all these men.
Yeah. It's like
And
set
it-
up like The Office. It's just like she like looks into the camera and she's like,
They're just like she's watching them and she goes.
yeah.
I would kill for a show like that. I'm not even kidding. Like,
I like
One day, maybe.
And Danny Trejo and the
that's it.
Rancor are still there.
yes. Oh my
yeah,
god. This
oh,
look
yeah.
at the Rancor.
Is this episode going to be like 8 hours long? Because it
Yeah.
better be.
I want it to be a 2-hour finale.
Come
Let's do it.
on.
I hope.
oh my gosh.
At least an hour. At least.
I know
Yeah.
I know it seems like this like how can they possibly finish this, but since it's John and Dave, I know they're somehow going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
But I'm
It's
still
gonna end
nervous because
so
I'm like,
well, I
what's
know.
happening?
That's the
I just-
biggest thing to take away from it always is the story is always broader than what we're being shown in the first
Yeah.
like thing here, because like we're getting expansions on so much from the Mandalorian and so much more from like every other movie in like this this season alone. So there's always a broader story, and we just gotta remember that.
Always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
There's always a bigger fish.
I want to mention one moment that I forgot, but it's one of my favorites. And it's when Cat Bane is like, don't stick your nose into things that you don't belong in. This dude has no friggin' nose.
No nose.
He's telling nose people not to stick their nose.
I wouldn't stick my nose in something it doesn't belong in if I were
It
you.
is so obvious. He's sitting there like this, dumbass, with the no nose having dumbass sitting there going, "Don't stick your nose in things."
He can say that to people, but they can't say it to him because he doesn't have a nose.
So he's immune to it. He's like, I can't stick my nose in anything.
He's like, I don't have one. Bop, bop.
No, he says, if I were you, I wouldn't go sticking my nose in things. And I'm like, no shit.
Because you can't. On that note.
On that note, we're done here. We're done here.
Happy Star Wars Podcast Day, everyone.
That's all I can say.
It was a good time.
Very time. Thank you, Dodge. Thank you, Riley. Thank you both so much for coming on the show. And this is everything I expected it to be. So yeah,
Us.
Thank you so much.
Go check out Ladylorians if you guys get a chance. Good stuff over there. Good recent episode that I saw some teases for. I need to go watch it.
Oh,
It's a
thank
pretty
you.
good episode if I do
It's
say so
crazy.
myself.
It's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Mostly because of Will and Riley, but
we get off the rails, but so do they. So but we love them.
That's
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. You can find us everywhere at HoloNet Marauders, on YouTube, on all the audio listening platforms as well. See you next time on the HoloNet Marauders podcast.